Good morning, everyone. My name is Cristobal Undurraga. I work at the Government of Chile in innovation and entrepreneurship, and I'm honored for being part of this summit, although in a very digital way. I appreciate the invitation. Andrea has asked me to share with you the experience that we have had in Chile around innovation and entrepreneurship. I understand you are a business community, and hence I'm not going to bore you with a lot of public policies, but I do want to share the experience of someone that comes from business, that joined government, developing public policies regarding entrepreneurship and innovation. So the first question we have always is, why do we care about entrepreneurship? And here are various reasons, and I want to focus today on just two. One is from a freedom perspective. Entrepreneurship is fundamentally an act of freedom, and hence, if we believe in freedom and people, we need to create opportunities for them to exercise that freedom. They might want to be employees, they might want to be entrepreneurs. It's not that one is better than the other, but as a government, we have to procure the conditions for them to become whatever they want to be. So that's the first reason. So even if entrepreneurship is not good business, as government, that we believe in freedom, we need to support entrepreneurs. And the second part, Chile has still very important pending issues regarding competitiveness, poverty, and those social challenges that we have in order to become a developed nation. We believe that entrepreneurs will play a very serious role in that. It is through innovation and entrepreneurship that jobs are created. It is through entrepreneurship and innovation that talent from the country can become of value for the rest of the society. And hence, those are the two large reasons why we at the Government of Chile have taken care of entrepreneurship. The way we have done it are very different. I understand that the invitation comes from the interest in StartUpChile. So I think it is relevant for me just to put in context what Chile is as a country. You might be able to see it on a map. Chile is very far away from the rest of the world. We are somehow an island attached to a continent, in the sense that on the very north we have the desert of Atacama, the driest desert in the world. On the east we have the Andean Range, which on average is about 3,000 to 4,000 meters high. On the west we have the Pacific Ocean, and on the south we have Antarctica. So we have become a very isolated culture. So that's one thing. Second, we are a small market. We are about 17 million people. Our GDP is about $280 billion. And so we need to be connected to the world in order for our products and our services to have enough scale to become a business. So Chile started about 30 years ago a series of changes in order to become one of the most open economies in the world. I think our average tariff is about 1% or even lower than that. And we have free trade agreements with about 90% of the GDP of the world. So to that strategy, we had to add on top of that the idea that we could add value through innovation and entrepreneurship. So we have set as an aspiration as a country to become a regional pole, a regional hub for entrepreneurship and innovation. And so when you think of that, then we have the second question is, okay, we have a market outside, then what do we do with the people? Do we have enough talent? And yes, we believe we have good talent, not sure we have enough talent. So in order to create critical mass and also to take full responsibility on the cultural challenges of a society that has been isolated and traditional, we took the idea of setting different shortcuts to the world. One of those shortcuts is StartUpChile. Other shortcut is we've created centers of excellence, international centers of excellence that are institutions from around the world that set up their research labs or the research labs and transfer centers in Chile in order to connect industries to talent and scientific research. And hence, all those centers, today we have 12, are starting to set up office in Chile, and we're seeing results on that. Let's go back to StartUpChile. So StartUpChile, what it is basically a program that invites entrepreneurs from around the world to set up their companies in Chile. We provide them with $40,000 as a grant for 6 months, and we give them a working visa for them to set up for at least a year. And so what we've seen with this very flexible program is that there's a lot of interest around the world. So far we've had more than 10,000 applications. We've been able to accept around 2,000 entrepreneurs and roughly 800 companies, and they have come to Chile from more than 70 countries, and they have helped us convert Chile into a hub of entrepreneurship in Latin America. Today, Chile, because of StartUpChile and other programs, have made of Chile a topic or a city, a hot city around the world for entrepreneurs. So that is what we've done at StartUpChile. In terms of the reason why we did this, as I said, first critical mass, but the second part was culture. So many of us came from business. We knew what entrepreneurs really needed. It wasn't a government telling you, you have to become an entrepreneur, here you have money, do what I say that you need to do. We took a different approach. As a public policy, we built it with the entrepreneurs. So we invited them and we heard what they needed from different parts of the world. Some of us came from Silicon Valley, and where we learned that entrepreneurs were being kicked out of the US because of the visa. Some of them had problems raising capital, or it was too expensive. So we took all those pieces and parts and brought it to Chile in the form of StartUpChile. On the other side, in Chile, what we asked them, it's equity-free money, it's $40,000 equity-free, but we do ask entrepreneurs to contribute to our culture because, again, we believe we have the talent, but yet our talent and our people need to believe that they can be global players. So what we ask global entrepreneurs is to mentor, is to work with local entrepreneurs, is to go to school and give lectures to kids or just set up workshops so that the culture starts to grow and grow and grow. And so when different publications mention Chile as this hot spot for entrepreneurship, it is because our focus has been on culture. We believe we have the talent, we have capital markets. The question is, do we have the right culture to embrace entrepreneurs, to embrace change that will come with entrepreneurial innovation? And so thinking of Romania, and Andrea, I'm trying to answer here one of the questions you asked, and this is a business group, is what can the business community do for entrepreneurs? So I tried to find some parallels between Romania and Chile. So we have a similar GDP, we have roughly similar population, we have roughly also the same GDP expenditure or percentage of GDP expenditure in R&D. And so I think there are many things we can try to tie and connect. We don't have Nobel Prizes in science, we have Nobel Prizes in poetry. And so I think you run with a huge advantage in terms of being connected to Europe and also having very strong knowledge in science. One of the things that we found and we've been able to develop here with business communities is for business community to embrace and support entrepreneurs. And this is way easier to say than to do. One of the things that we can do, as our business people can do, is provide mentorship. That is like a very basic level. And this is not only share one coffee, is to be a board member and create the confidence in that entrepreneur that he or she can be of value and create value, and also bring experience. It needs commitment. It's not an easy one. The second part is to provide capital. Business people have been successful, but it's not always the case that they go back and invest in entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs investing in entrepreneurs is one of the fundamental growth drivers, for example, of the venture capital industry in Silicon Valley, which has not only provided capital, but also smart money. The third thing that is very critical is to provide markets, access to markets. Entrepreneurs usually don't have the networks to connect to companies to buy their services or to just provide services or being acquired by that company. So a fundamental thing that you can do with your entrepreneurs and that we've seen here and we've been trying to work with our business community is for the business community to truly create a network that support entrepreneurs in terms of capital, knowledge, and access to markets. The third one, from a policy perspective, that is very useful, is to help put together entrepreneurs and create an agenda around entrepreneurship. Chile has been able to create an association of entrepreneurs, and they help us a lot, and they're a counterpart in many policy issues because they help us understand and aggregate the needs of entrepreneurs. So I think those are 4 things that can be a huge contribution that you can make to your entrepreneurs if they do not exist. I want to be very humble here. This is our experience. I don't want to predicate that this will work for Romania. But there are 4 things that can be done by a business community like yours and will surely be appreciated by entrepreneurs. With that said, I just want to thank you all, say that some of the things that we have done here in terms of policy have been very quickly create companies in 1 day, change the bankruptcy law, change the R&D incentives. With all those things, plus other changes in regulations, what we have seen working, business community, entrepreneurs, and government, is an increase in the companies created and a decrease in unemployment. Just hope these ideas can help you, and we are always glad to support the Romanian people. Thank you very much, and have a great summit. Goodbye.